Hello and welcome to Titocan Mark Solutions. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to perform Friedman Test in SPSS. I will walk you through the concept and practically demonstrate the analysis in SPSS using a sample dataset, and then show you how to interpret the results with confidence. So sit back, relax, and let's explore this exercise together. My name is Titocan, and this is Titocan Mark Solutions, a YouTube channel for improving the knowledge of how to do things. Now, what is Friedman Test? The Friedman Test is a non-parametric statistical test that is used to determine whether there are significant differences between three or more related groups or treatments. It is a non-parametric alternative to the repeated measures ANOVA. This means that Friedman Test is the immediate test statistic you should consider to perform if the assumptions of the repeated measures ANOVA, especially if the assumption of normality, is violated by your dataset. Friedman Test works by ranking the values within each subject, comparing the sum of ranks across the different treatments, and determining whether the differences in ranks are too large to be due to chance. The process compares the differences in medians across repeated measures. Now, let's inspect the dataset for this demonstration. This is the dataset, and it consists of a simulated records of catch per unit effort from 4 fishing gear types in 20 sampling stations along a certain coastline, conducted to compare the efficiency of the 4 fishing gear types based on catch per unit effort measurement collected repeatedly at the same stations in the coastal waters. This makes it paired observations suitable for Friedman Test. The goal was to determine whether the catch performance of these gears differs significantly when used at the same sampling stations and under similar environmental conditions. The 4 fishing gear types are gillnet, longline, trawlnet, and porcelain. But please note that this dataset is fictitiously designed for the purpose of comparing the effectiveness of the 4 fishing gears based on catch per unit effort measurements collected repeatedly at the same stations, and does not represent any true feed sampling. Now that we have inspected the dataset, let's jump right into the demonstration. Go to the menu bar and click on Analyze. From the submenu, put your cursor on non-parametric tests, and from the drop-down options, put your cursor on Legacy Dialogues. And from the drop-down options again, click on K-related samples to open the dialog box. From here, your job is simple and straightforward. In this dialog box, your variables are in the box at the left. Hold down the Control key in your keyboard and click on each variable you want to use in order to select them, and click on this transfer arrow key to move them all to the test variables box at the right. First, come down to the test type section. There are 3 options of test type here, but since we are conducting Friedman test, go ahead and tick the box for Friedman if it hasn't already been checked by default. Now, click to open the Exact button. In this dialog box, the options here compute the significance and produce the p-value. As you can see, there are 3 ways the Friedman test calculates the p-value for significant measurement, and the default choice by SPSS system is the asymptotic only. With asymptotic only, the SPSS will calculate the p-value using the approximate chi-square distribution, which is suitable for datasets with as much as 20 cases or more, because this option can accurately compute the p-value statistics when sample size is moderate to large. But if your data size is small and less than 20 cases, it is strongly advised that you use either Monte Carlo or exact option to calculate the significance of p-value. So, based on the size of our dataset for this demonstration, which has 20 cases, I will go with the asymptotic only, which is the default selection here. Now, click Continue to close this dialog box. Then click on the Statistics button to open the dialog box. Go ahead and tick the box for descriptive and quartiles. The statistics option will produce the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, and the maximum values, while the quantiles will produce the percentiles, such as the 25th percentile, the 50th percentile, and the 75th percentile. However, the 50th percentile is the median calculation which is needed for significance comparison in Friedman test. Now, click Continue to close this dialog box. Like this, you have successfully completed the setup for Friedman test analysis in SPSS. Now, click OK to generate the Friedman test results in the output window. As you can see, the results have been produced, and I will now interpret the results step by step. The first result table here is the descriptive statistics table. The descriptive statistics table summarizes the catch per unit effort recorded at each of the 20 stations for the 4 fishing methods being compared. This allows us to understand the central tendency and variability of catch per unit effort before examining whether the differences across methods are statistically significant or not. As you can see in this first column of N, there is equal 20 number of cases across the fishing gear. This means equal number of cases were used in the analysis. The gear net yielded an average catch per unit effort of about 41.855 units and the standard deviation of 5.4517, indicating a moderate variability across stations. The catch per unit effort of gear net ranges from minimum of 32.9 to maximum of 52.3. The 50th percentile, which is the median, is 41.450. Specifically, the distribution shows consistent but relatively low catch per unit effort across stations. The longline fishing gear yielded a higher average catch per unit effort of 54.705 units than the gear net, and the standard deviation of 4.7798, indicating a slightly less variability across stations. The catch per unit effort of longline ranges from minimum of 45.7 to maximum of 63.4. The 50th percentile, which is the median, is 55.250. Specifically, longline fishing gear produces higher catch per unit effort and shows tighter clustering of values. It is a clear improvement over gear net in terms of performance at each station. The trawl net yielded a higher average catch per unit effort of 62.280 units than the gear net and longline fishing gear, and has a standard deviation of 5.6183, indicating a moderate variability across stations. The catch per unit effort of trawl net ranges from minimum of 53.1 to maximum of 73.6. The 50th percentile, which is the median, is 61.450. Specifically, the trawl net displays strong catch per unit effort performance, consistently outperforming both gear net and longline fishing gear across the stations. The porcelain fishing gear yielded the highest average catch per unit effort of 70.380 units compared to the gear net, longline, and the trawl net, and it has a standard deviation of 5.6916, indicating a moderate variability across stations like the trawl net. The catch per unit effort of porcelain ranges from minimum of 60.3 to a maximum of 82.4. The 50th percentile, which is the median, is 70.400. The porcelain fishing gear displays strong performance, consistently outperforming both gear net, longline, and trawl net across the stations. Specifically, porcelain is the best performing method with the highest catch per unit effort values across the stations. Even its lowest percentile values outperform the upper values of some other methods. Generally, in this table, a clear upward trend is observed, meaning catch per unit effort increases substantially from gear net through porcelain, indicating a notable difference in catch per unit effort among the 4 fishing methods And this pattern suggests that the methods may not perform equally across stations. However, these differences must be tested statistically to determine whether they are significant rather than due to random variation. So let's proceed to Friedman Test session. The first table in this session is the ranks. In this table, the mean rank represents how each fishing method performs in terms of catch per unit effort across all the stations based on the ranking procedure within the Friedman test. For each of the 20 stations, the catch per unit effort values for Guinet, Longline, Tronet, and Porcelain were ranked from lowest to highest. The lowest catch per unit effort is ranked 1, and the highest catch per unit effort is ranked 4. SPSS then computed the average rank for each method across all stations. In this table, Guinet has mean ranks of 1.00, meaning that it consistently had the lowest catch per unit effort across all stations, indicating that almost without exemption, Guinet produced the lowest catch per unit effort every time. Longline has mean rank of 2.00, showing that it was consistently the second lowest performer, but typically produces catch per unit effort values higher than Guinet, but lower than Tronet and Porcelain. The Tronet has mean rank of 3.00, meaning it is consistently the second highest method, which regularly records higher catch per unit effort values than both Guinet and Longline, but lower than Porcelain. While Porcelain has the mean rank of 4.00, meaning it is the top performer in almost every station as it consistently achieved the highest catch per unit effort values across all stations. Generally, the order of mean ranks in this table reflects the catch per unit effort performance hierarchy, and this order exactly matches the pattern seen in the descriptive statistics table. Therefore, the ranks provide strong evidence that catch per unit effort varies systematically depending on the fishing method. Now, let's interpret the test statistics table. This table is the crux of the matter and the basic reasons for performing Friedman test. Two features are critical to consider in this table. They are the chi-square value and the p-value designated as asympt xig. The Friedman test computes a chi-square statistic to check whether the median catch per unit effort differs significantly across the four fishing methods. As you can see, the chi-square is 60.000 and is very large, strongly suggesting that the methods do not produce similar catch per unit effort levels across the stations. Also, the p-value designated as asympt xig is 0.000, which means p-value is less than 0.001, which is far below the usual significance level of 0.05, indicating that there is statistically significant difference in the catch per unit effort across the fishing methods. This means that the choice of fishing method has a strong and significant effect on catch per unit effort across stations, and the likelihood of the observed ranking patterns occurring by chance is extremely small. Now, since significant difference has been observed, it is imperative to run or conduct a post-hoc test for pairwise comparisons in order to specifically indicate which among the four fishing gear methods is the source of the significant difference. While you may have the interest to pursue this investigation further, the best post-hoc test for pairwise comparisons is Wilkinson sign ranks using Befferoni correction. But for this video, I have come to the end of the demonstrations, and I hope you'll be able to replicate this procedure to run the Friedman test on your own dataset and interpret the results efficiently. If you found this tutorial helpful, please click the like button, subscribe to Titocan Mark Solutions, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to receive notification anytime I publish new and useful content. If you would like to ask questions, kindly drop them in the comment section. And if you are working on a real-world project and you need guidance from me, please send an email to asktitocan@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking and sharing this video, and thanks for subscribing to Titocan Mark Solutions, a YouTube channel for improving the knowledge of how to do things. See you in the next video. Bye.